Welcome back, my duelist friends. Casual Duelist here. Happy Halloween. It's finally time for our Zombie World deck profile. So, um, without too much further ado, we are going to go ahead and get this in. So, 40 card main deck, 14 card extra deck because my order didn't arrive in time. I purchased a third copy of a card. It is supposed to be a 15 card extra deck. We're going to use our imagination today. So first and foremost, let's get the main deck. Let's talk over some cards, right? So first, I'm taking in one copy of the Al-Ghul Mazira. This is a cool zombie. So if a zombie monsters you control will be destroyed by a battle or by a card effect, you can choose to banish this from the hand or the graveyard instead. And if this card is banished from the hand or the graveyard, you can special summon this card in defense, and then you can reduce its level by 1. Each effect is once per turn, but it's a good battle block, and then allowing this guy to then go ahead and stand tall. Now, the level deficiency is kind of an amusing thing. I want you to note it, that he is like an 8-star card that is going to bring him down to 7, and we're going to use that tech in just a little while. So, it's a cool number 1 card, right? Number 2, we're going to use Changshi the Spiridao. Now, this over another really cool zombie, a little 6-star here. During the main phase, you can send one zombie from your hand or deck to the graveyard, which is great. This is Gozuki. This is extra foolish burials. This is everything we want. If this card is banished, you can banish one zombie in your graveyard, special summon this card, but place it on the bottom of the deck when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect once per turn. Again, this card cycles. We don't really need more than one. And then again, there's the chances of drawing it again. But we could just always, throw it back out of the deck, banish it, get it back to special summon. You know what I mean. Next one, kind of a cool one. I like to run this at 2, is the Crow Tengu. So a little bit of focus. If this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's effect and sent to the graveyard, or if it is special summoned from the graveyard, target one attack position monster your opponent controls, destroy that card. Use this effect once per turn. This works well with cards like Mezuki. If you choose to add extra copies, because I think I'm only running 2 in here. I am. You can always choose to run more of those. You can choose to take some of my cards out, play something like Book of Life, Monster Reborn, whatever you guys really want to play. That's what you guys should do. This is just meant to be a good guideline. And then, of course, Crow Tengu will get some more pops, more destructs. It's a good level 4. So it's a lot of good stuff all in one. We're going to bring back the boss monster Doom King Baladrock for this. Again, kind of a confusing card because it's a whole mountain of text. During the standby, if there is a face-of-field zone on the field and this card is in the graveyard, you may special summon it to your side in defense. This is once per turn, so you're not popping more than one of these. Then once per chain, when a zombie monster with a different name activates its effect, except during damage step, as a quick effect, you get to apply one of the following. You cannot apply the same effect twice in a turn, but you can apply this quick effect twice by choosing both effects. So either you can negate the effect that's being used, which again is awesome, or you can banish a monster from the field or the graveyard, which again helps us spot control the opponent. So again, good stuff. We're going to use 2 copies of Glow Up Bloom, and this is where our tuners start to sink in. Zombie Synchro is probably by far one of my favorite things to play. If this is sent to the graveyard, you can banish this from the graveyard, add 1 level 5 or higher zombie from deck to hand. So again, Al-Ghul, Shang-Chi, Doom King, these are all searchable. However, if Zombie World is in a field zone, you can special summon it instead, which again allows us to just play Al-Ghul, Shang-Chi, or Doom King, which is awesome. You cannot play anything except zombie monsters for the rest of the turn after you do that, and you get 1 effect per turn and only once that turn. So it's not bad. It's a great one-of. It's a good thing, you could set up Shang-Chi, because Shang-Chi is going to send other people. You could send a Doom King after that or something, and then you could just build up your empire from there. We are going to run the 1 Gozuki. Again, we're not running 2 because we're running Shang-Chi. But during the main phase, you can send a zombie from the deck to the graveyard, and then if this card gets sent to the graveyard, you can banish 1 zombie in the graveyard with a different name to special summon a zombie from your hand. So again, he's still a good tech one-of, but half of his effect is being held out by somebody else. We're going to use another semi-boss monster. We're going to use Jack-o-Bolan, another really good card. Again, 7 stars. You can discard 1 zombie monster to special summon this from the hand. During your opponent's main phase, as a quick effect, you can target a zombie in either graveyard, special summon that monster, banish it when it leaves the field, then banish this card until the end phase of that turn. Each of these effects is once per turn, but what this means is, since we're turning everything into zombies, we're just going to go ahead and bring back our opponent's stuff and preserve our Jack-o-Bolan so that we could just continually cycle cards. It's going to help us with linking and building up a bigger board. It is probably one of the cards I could suggest taking down to 1. Like, this is a good option right here. You take that out, there's your Monster Reborn slot, and then Crow gets more play, and then everybody else doesn't feel as weighty with too many high-star cards. But it is what it is. You guys play accordingly. We are going to be playing a copy of the Mad Mauler. This card's name becomes Plaguespreader while on field or grave, which is awesome. If this is in the grave, we can target a level 6 or higher, reduce its level by 2 if we do special summon this card. Also, the player who summoned it cannot special summon for the turn except zombies, while this card is face up in the monster zone. It's brilliant, but realistically, what I need you to understand is, this means, like for Jack-o-Bolan, we can go into a 7-star synchro by simply taking the 2 stars for the Mad Mauler off the Jack. This guy's going to be super searchable, since we have so many ways to throw things out of the deck. We could do this effect while it's in the graveyard, and this is one of the benefits to having so many high-level monster cards. 2 copies Mezuki. You guys should know how Mezuki works. If you don't, banish it while it's in the discard to bring back a different zombie in your discard. We're going to be running 2 copies of Necroworld Banshee. This is probably another one that we could drop down to 1. While on field, it states that zombie world in a field zone cannot be destroyed by card effects, and neither player can target it with card effects. So even things that would banish, like Cosmic Cyclone or something, total non-starters here. As a quick effect, though, you may banish this from the field or the graveyard, and since we could do this from the graveyard, again, we've got so many toss-outs, this is not a big deal. Banish this, play a zombie world directly from the hand or deck. Okay, super good. Original Plaguespreader, you guys should know this one by now. Same thing with Unizombie. And again, this is going to be something that's going to help us throw things out of the deck. We can either... it's got 2 effects. Target 1 face-up on the field, discard a card, increase its level by 1, or target a face-up monster on the field. Monsters you control cannot attack for the rest of this turn except zombies. Also, send a zombie from the deck to the graveyard to increase the target's level by 1. So you do have the ability to modulate 2 levels, 1 from hand, 1 from the deck. It's double throw. Again, this is why Gozuki's at 1. This is like, we're not super worried about the Banshee. Like, you could drop Banshee to 1. You could drop Jack to 1. There's tons of play in here. And then the last monster you're going to run is you're just going to run Ash Blossom. It's cool that she's a zombie. Realistically, Ash is in here because Ash is like one of the quintessential hand traps that just puts in the most work against the most amount of decks. Moving to spells, you're going to have a Called by the Grave because obviously people are going to try to stop you with hand traps. Foolish Burial because we're going to have the spell version again. To do it, we're going to be running 3 Forbidden Droplets in here, and the reason we want the Forbidden Droplets is not only the power sink, but because it is a great disruptor. And again, we get to feed the discard pile. 3 Super Polymerization, because we're playing Zombie World, so you guys already know what the monster is that's coming. It's just super easy to do in this deck. It's like playing Starving Venom Fusion in a Layer of Darkness deck. This is a core staple once you start playing. 2 talents. Not because I would prefer Thrust in here, but I actually think talent is going to help you play through hand traps a little bit better because of the just the ability to like draw in and do some modular junk. And then of course the 3 zombie worlds. We're not using terraformings, and again the reason I'm not using terraformings is because Banshee is so quick to throw away. And I'm running 2, that this is just a non-issue. Traps are pretty standard too. It's just 4. I'm going to use 3 copies Infinite Imperm because if you're going to play hand trap, make it a trap. It's really awesome. And then 1 Rivalry just for like the 40th card. It's just here because, you know, I'm sitting here going, I want to soft lock. Just because I turn my opponent's monsters into zombies doesn't mean that they won't be able to play other things. Rivalry basically keeps them down to playing 1 card. So that is my main deck, guys. Go ahead, screenshot or pause in notes, and I'll be back with the extra. Just in one moment. All right. Now, to start with the card I'm actually missing, we are going to have 3 copies, not just the 2 that you see. We'll place an empty sleeve here so you guys kind of get it visually. Immortal Dragon, and the reason is because it's any 2 zombies. I don't care about the rest of the effect, I just care about that, but it does have a decent effect. Monsters cannot be destroyed by battle with this card at the end of the damage step. If this card battled a monster, change its attack to 0. Also, if the monster is still face up on the field, special summon a Dark Soul token with the same level attack as the original level attack of the monster. You can only control 1 of these per turn. What ends up happening is you get to 0 the account of something, clone it, then ram it with something else, and then ram the opponent with the clone. It's just good. It's the whole reason we're doing this. Now, if we were playing Eldritch in here too, we would probably see the Mad Golden Lord in here a little bit as well. Just because, again, it's just another sweet target. Moving into the synchros, we're going to be using 2 copies Doomkaiser Dragon. Again, we have 2 Plaguespreaders by technicality due to Mauler. This is going to be a 6 stars, so again, this is why we're playing like Shang-Chi and stuff. When special summoned, you get to target a zombie that's in the opponent's graveyard. We just changed all their monsters to zombies. Special summon it to our field in attack mode, destroy it when it leaves the field. Or destroy it when Doomkaiser Dragon leaves the field. Again, not a terribly large deal, but it is a bit different. So that is going to help us. Again, it'll help us with the links and other synchronize. All right. Moving off that, we are going to play 1 copy of the Immortal Dragon. The Immortal Dragon stays a tuner as a synchro. It is a 6 star. During the main phase, you can send a zombie from the deck to the graveyard. If you do this, becomes the level becomes the difference in the original levels of them. So if you send a 2, this goes down to being a 4. You can modulate it that way. When your zombie monster is destroyed by battle, while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this, but it banishes when it leaves the field the next time. So again, it's not bad. It's good stuff. One of the big things we're going to be playing is the Red Eye Zombie Dragon Lord. So again, zombie tuner plus non-tuners. This is going to be something like it's a 10 star. I think the mailman must be here. My puppy is going nuts upstairs, so I'm going to have to get through this quicker. During the opponent's turn, as a quick effect, target a zombie monster in your own graveyard with a different name. Special summon it. If this card is in the graveyard, banish 1 zombie monster you control. Special summon it. Each effect once per turn. You're going to play the original Red Eye Zombie Necro. For obvious reasons, it helps you play things. We're going to go with the Avendread Savior because it's good. Helps us throw out stuff. Flying Mary, the Wandering Ghost Ship, is actually really good. Just a morsel of focus, please. Target 1 of your level 5 or higher zombies that is banished during your graveyard. Place this card in the spell trap zone as a face-up continuous. If do, special summon targeted monster. While this is a continuous, target a level 5 or higher zombie monster you control. Destroy 1 monster the opponent controls with attack less than or equal to that monster. So again, it's just a quick double move. We are going to use Moon of the Closed Heaven in order to get to our Underworld of the Closed World. This just helps us. 1 copy of Fascinator. And with the Fascinator, it is going to be a Link 3. It's 2 monsters, including a zombie, but again, everything's going to be a zombie. When his Link summon target a monster in the opponent's graveyard, special summon it to your side in defense. You cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except zombies. So realistically, the only cards we're not going to be able to play is Moon and Underworld when we do that. You contribute a vampire, then target a monster your opponent controls, take control of it. Again, this is not going to be too hard. We do use this. We're also going to use 2 copies of Vampire Sucker at the end of the deck, so it does have multiple targets. This is any 2 zombies, and if you attribute a monsters for a tribute summon, you contribute a zombie monster your opponent controls, even though you don't control them. Again, this is what's up with a little bit of a higher power base. Shang-Chi, the Spirito, basically becomes a kaiju at this point, but we get to keep the monster, which is awesome. And then you get 1 of each of the following effects once per turn. You target a monster in the opponent's graveyard, special summon it to their side in defense, becomes a zombie. And then if a zombie monster is special summoned from either graveyard, you get to draw a card. So that is the deck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to go see what's up with the puppy dog real quick, and you guys have an excellent Halloween. See you next time.